for you here. So with the, maybe this will be two different videos. Talking about the thing that you brought in with this, you know. What I'm going to say is, you know, he's doing this, and then he's really locked in. When he's using these two fingers, he's just going, you know, excuse me. And then when he goes to do, his ring finger comes down, and there's like no, I don't know, he's doing super clean when he goes like that. This, it's like, you know, if I was writing stereo instructions, we go, then we read that string, dampen, excuse me. We plug the second string only. We dampen that string, hit the first string. So, you know, one finger at a time, locked in there, just hitting stuff as we mean it, as opposed to sailing around like we do playing fretted. And you can watch him on the video do this really well. So that's what we refer to as clean tone slide. And this is how we got on the subject of modal playing. You know, there's playing between with us. So for the strict major scales, like on 0, 2, 4, and our, you know, an open, a second, a third, major third, and our fourth, fifth, sixth, and then it would have E flat, which doesn't sound very empty. Going. So that's where we get to Mixolydian, which is just instead of, we're used to hearing, you know, instead of a major 7th chord, a 7th chord, that, I'm on the 7th, you know, so that's our, so there you go, and then Dorian adds a flat third, so we're going, and that, or would scream, I am a rock song, I'm a blues song, as opposed to, how we'd actually be able to do all these things in standard tuning to figure out how to do modal playing, and that it was just going to be exactly like our minor major conversions. So pretending I was in standard tuning, we've got this groove in G7 or G major, it's not a minor something by any means, and we want to, so what I wrote on the page is option 1, you play the G major scale, you're playing the tone value major. Option 2, Mixolydian, which you know is going to have that flat 7 sound, but we just kind of fly blind, hit the dots that we know are going to work, and just, it sounds cool. Instead of going boom, boom, like we do for our minor, we go boom, ding, 4th up, or the right under your index finger there, so that would be playing the C major scale. G Dorian is C major, A Dorian is D major, D Dorian is G major. So you're using your fretboard as your answer key, and pretty quickly you can just die that out rather than having to do that. Dorian, same kind of process. G Dorian, so we're going back a whole step. That's where our answer is. So for a song in G, we want to play a Dorian sounded thing. You're going to play the F major scale. Strange as that seems. And Dorian's got the flat third, right third. And you mentioned it. So the difference between Dorian and the minor scale is a regular 6th versus a flat 6th, and that's, so it's got elements of the minor scale and the major scale, which is this whole thing we can get away with on this style of playing, where we can work in the same phrasing. Let's play the minor third, you know, and a major third, right, in the same phrasing, and totally sounding normal. Whereas if I was on this instrument in standard, trying to go like boom, da da ding, it would totally sound like they were playing contrasting notes. So that's interesting. And hey, check it out. So if you learn how to play major scales really well, it turns out you know all the other modes. But if we were going to get shortcutty about it, these are the other ones that are really useful in blues rock, classic rock, derivative, rhythm and blues type playing. That's it. Not so much as pentatonic scales, major scales. But yeah, there we go. So, you know, you can really actually start to hear this stuff in your blues solos. Alright, cool. So let's see where we are here. About 5 minutes in, or 10 to 5, which I'll write on your page. We're going. So we go open. And the trick trick to this song is going to be going back and forth between open occasionally and this normal position of I am palm muting the low strings 6, 5, and 4, but nothing above. So we got this rather just. So there we are, and then it's like it's an open one, so it's like. Yeah, like that. Or rather, what is it? Oh yeah, that's it. He opens up the second string on the last one, so right there, and then we just back up. So there we're gonna do the opposite of what we're trying to achieve when we're playing clean tone, which is we want all the overtones from the other strings from our. So when I go, we still hear all this. Cool. So, or rather, pardon me. There's our first one, and then we get, and that's where it picks up. We don't do two of those. We go. Thing, and that's it. Or what is it? Yeah. Or however he phrases it. But it was like that. Alright. Like that. And then the next one goes. That's impossible without doing this right and stuff. So that's tricky. I like that slide place. When you hear Dwayne Allman's playing, he does so much loopy. We did this last time.
Yep.
Loopy stuff where counterintuitive slides where we'd want to not slide and vice versa. This falls in that category for me. I'd want to go like without a slide and slide into that space one. That's pretty sick. Anyway, and then the last one's got this so yeah. And I got really specific about which strings to hit in the tablature. So just the second one's the only one that picks up anywhere other than we got boom down. Right, no, it didn't go. It went boom ding or whatever he does, and then that's all I got. Excuse me. Or rather, I guess the last one also is. So, pardon me. The second and fourth ones pick up on our second hit of the second group. Great, so let me try it once just for funsies. But do this. Okay, so let's do it like I would actually try to make my students do it. Consciously focus, no playing music. I'm a pattern machine. Alright. Seeing it's this weird style he's developed that people comp a lot, where it's like Chet Atkinsy, and Chet Atkins did a lot of that with the fretting, palm muted low strings, high strings open, and that is something we do a lot where we've got our lows. Right, good. That's a good video. I'm gonna rip that off for other people too.